Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss the Bayes' theorem question that came in 2019 and 20, and I will discuss the question. Suppose it would come in 2023. In what form this question may come in 2023? In that way I am going to discuss the past questions of 2019 and 20. Hope it will be helpful for you. So we take the question of Bayes' theorem from 2022. And the first question goes like this: in a shop X, 30 tins of ghee of type A and 40 tins of ghee of type B, which look alike, are kept in a cell, while in shop Y, similar 50 tins of ghee of type A and 60 of type B are kept. 1 tin of ghee is purchased from one of the randomly selected shop and found to be of type B. Find the probability that it is purchased from shop Y. Suppose the same question, or I would like to say similar question, would come in 2023. Then the question will be accompanied by some pictures like this, shop X and shop Y, and this question will be broken down into two parts. First part A mein they will ask what is the probability that it is of type B, that is application of total probability, and second part may the application of Bayes' theorem. If it is of type B, find the probability that it is purchased from shop Y. So let us look at the solution. Usually I always take the help of this diagram method, because this diagram method is helpful to comprehend the question better and at the same time to apply the Bayes' theorem as well. So here our first step is selection of the shop. So two options are available to us, shop X and shop Y. So probability of E1 is selection of shop X, E2 selection of shop Y. So both probabilities are half and half. And in shop X there are 40 tins of type B ghee, and shop Y may 60 tins of type B ghee. So this probability will be 4 by 7, that means 40 by 70, and this is 60 by 110. So first and foremost, to answer the first part of the question, we have to find the value of PE, that is what is the probability that the ghee of tin type B. So PE, that means if we look at the diagram, we have to reach up to type B, and we are having two options, either you come from this way or you come from this way. That means you have to multiply these two, or so plus this into this. So this is what the total probability is, and after using the values we get the answer as 43 by 77. Second part, in the second part we have to find what is the probability that if it was taken from the shop Y. So we have to find out P of E2 given E. That means this is the favorable number of A by total number of A, and denominator value already we have found out the total probability. So this is the formula, and if we have the diagram, there is no possibility of mistake, because I have seen in the examination many times students are confused with writing whether should we write E by E2 or E2 by E. Here also lots of mistake takes place, but if you have the diagram, there is no possibility of any mistake in writing the original formula of Bayes' theorem as well. So after writing the formula, rest of the part are very easy. Just you have to put the values on the numerator, the favorable number of ways, denominator total number of ways, and the answer comes out to be 21 by 43. The next question of 2022, a bag contains two coins, one is biased and the other unbiased, and when tossed the biased coin has a chance of 60% of showing head. Bias का मतलब है जो थोड़ा defective होता है. So in this case the biased coin is such that the 60% chance of showing head, so showing tail will be 40%. So just same question 2020, if it appears in 2023 as I have framed as a guess question, so it will look like this. The initial setup will be same, and finally they will bifurcate into two parts. The first part is what is the probability that a tail appears, and the second part is if tails appears, what is the probability that it was an unbiased coin. So, the solution, as I always go for the diagram method, the first step is selection of the coin. Here it is biased, here it is unbiased, and both have equally likely probability, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So, in the biased case, the tail appearing probability is 40%, and unbiased case is head or tail, it is both 1 by 2. So, the first part we have to find out what is the probability of tail appearing. So, PE, which is a case of total probability, hence we have to multiply this part and this part plus this part and this part. So, answer comes out to be 9 by 2. Second part of the answer we have to find what is the probability that it was an unbiased coin if tail appears. So, therefore, P of E2 by E, hence the numerator will be filled with favorable number of ways by total number of ways, and the answer comes out to be 5 by 9. Another question of 2022 is this question. Here two bags are there and one ball is transferred from bag 1 to bag 2, and then a ball is randomly selected from bag 2. So, the same question, if I frame it as a 2023 guess question, it will look like this, somewhat look like this, and here also the initial setup will be same, and finally it will be bifurcated into two parts, and there will be some picture attached to it, which I have not done for the rest of the question. The ball so drawn is black in color. First part, what is the probability? Second part, if the ball is black in color, then find the probability that it was the transferred ball is also black. So, the diagram में first step is here bag 1. Bag 1 में two options, either red ball will be transferred or black ball will be transferred. So, if red ball will be transferred, definitely there will be change in the status in bag 2. Bag 2 में initially 4 red and 3 black were there, but when one red ball has come from bag 1 to bag 2, there is an increment of red ball in bag 2. So, similarly, if there is a black ball transferred from bag 1 to bag 2, one black ball has increased in bag 2. So, these things has to be taken care. So, if this has been taken care, then final output is one black ball, from here 3 by 8, from here it is 4 by 8, that is 1 by 2. So, from this we can answer the part of the question. First part we have to find total probability. So, total probability again if we look at the diagram, this into this plus this into this. So, finally answer comes out to be 29 by 64. Second part the question was what is the probability that the black ball was transferred. So, E2 by E. So, favorable number of cases by total number of cases, and the answer comes out to be 20 by 29. Now, we go to questions of 2019, where all these questions were of 6 marks. You know why there are 6 marks? Because initial setup it takes lots of time in these questions. So, they may give this kind of question because the very same question, one similar question came in this year or Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Tinsukia region ka this question came as a 4 mark question. So, if I make it 2023 guess question, it will appear like this. So, the question goes like this, there is a multiple choice question with 4 choices, this has to be taken care. In each question, there is a person can either guess it or copies it or knows the answer. The probability that he makes a guess is 1 by 4, probability that he copies it 1 by 4, and definitely they have not mentioned the probability of what is the probability of knowing, because that we can find by ourselves. So, which I have done in this way, guessing probability is 1 by 4, knowing copying probability is 1 by 4, and we know that in the very first test these 3 events are mutually exclusive. So, knowing probability will be 1 subtracted the sum of these 2. So, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4 it is 1 by 2, that means probability of knowing the answer is 1 by 2. Now, again in the question they have given only this data. That means the question answer will be correct by copying is 3 by 4, but they have not given these two options. These two options we have to find out from our common sense. If he guesses, that means there are 4 options, only one option is correct, so 1 by 4 probability. And if he knows the answer, the probability of getting a correct answer is 1, because he knows the answer. So that is why this question was of 6 marks in 2019, but if it has to come in 2023, then they will make it 4 mark. That means little bit higher order thinking level question. And after this diagram is ready, the rest of the things are very easy. First, getting a correct answer, total probability. Total probability means if we look at the diagram, this into this plus this into this plus this into this, that is our total probability. And second part they have asked what is the probability that he knows the answer given that he has answered it correctly. So E3 by E. So numerator mein we have to put P of E3 into P of E given E3. Denominator mein it will be your total probability. Answer comes out to be 2 by 3. Another question of 2019 is this question. You might be wondering कि 2019 में how many question came or 2020 में how many question came. Actually all India basis में they prepare so many sets. One set is for Delhi region, one set is for all India region. Then again they will prepare a set for blind student, then finally a set for compartment student. So I have combined all the sets here and there, and 2019 ka there are few questions are there. So this is the 6 mark question which I have converted into 4 mark of 2023 guess question. Here also we have 3 options. A insurance company insured 3000 cyclists, 6000 scooter drivers and 9000 car drivers, and the probability of meeting with an accident is 0.3, 0.05, 0.02 respectively. What is the probability that one insured person meets with an accident? It is A part, and B part mein what is the probability that the person is a cyclist. So let us go for a diagram. Insurance given to first 3000 cyclists, 6000 scooter driver, 9000 car drivers. So probability of giving insurance to 3000 cyclists will be 3000 divided by sum of the 3, that means 18,000. So 3 by 18, 1 by 6. Similarly 6 by 18, 1 by 3, and car drivers is 9 by 18, 1 by 2, and these data are already in the question. What is the probability that a cyclist will meet with an accident is 0.3, and scooter driver is 0.05, and your car driver is 0.02. So meeting with an accident, again the total probability cases. So we will take this into this plus this into this plus this into this, and we get the answer as 23 by 300. Second part mein what is the probability that he is a cyclist? So numerator mein we have to write down the P1 E given E1, and hence the answer boils down to 15 by 23. Another question of 2019. Here we have to find the value of n, and this question has to come, it would be directly 4 mark question. It is not possible to bifurcate. So here they have not given the number of black balls. So in the diagram I have shown 2 boxes. So selection of the box 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and box 1 mein 3 red and 6 black ball, box 2 mein 5 red and n black balls. Here n ka value we have to find, and one value is given to us. What value is given to us? What is it? Is E2 by E, 3 by 5. We apply the formula and put the values from the diagram. Okay, probability of getting a red ball from the box 2, it was given to be 3 by 5. So that is why using these values from the diagram we get the value of n to be 5. Another question of 2019. There are 3 coins. One is 2-headed, another is biased, the third one is unbiased, and one coin is chosen at random and toss, and I have made it 2023 guess question, by again bifurcating into two parts, and a diagram goes like this. First of all, we have to select a coin. The selection of coin 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. Two-headed coin ka head appearing probability is 1 because both headed coin, both side head will appear. 75% is 75 by 100, 3 by 4. Unbiased mein 1 by 2. Again the same story. Our total probability, sum of all the three. Second part mein what is the probability that two-headed coin is favorable number of cases by total number of cases. It is easy to understand now. Once diagram is ready, rest of the things are very easy. Again, another question of 2019, which we have three machine operators A, B, C, and I have made it 2023 guess question. I am making it into two parts. So diagram goes like this. Selection of the operators. Why 1 by 2? You know why 1 by 2? Because 50%. A is on the job for 50% of the time, B on the job for 30% of the time, C on the job for 20% of the time. So that is why 50 by 100 1 by 2, 30 by 100 3 by 10, and 20 by 100 1 by 5. And the another data that they have given is A produces 1% defective, B produces 5% defective, C produces 7% defective. So that is why 1 by 100, 5 by 100, 7 by 100. Finally defective item appears. What is the probability that the item will be defective? P, D I have used here, A, D by A. So adding them, we get the answer 17 by 500. And what is the probability that it was produced from machine A? That is A given D. So again the favorable number of cases by total number of cases. So hence the answer comes to be 5 by 34. So these are the questions of 2019. Hope you have understood the questions. One thing I would like to mention here, the diagram method that I have shown, that is not mandatory. You know, diagram drawing is not mandatory. Some of you may be genius, or some of you may be very brilliant to manage it without the diagram. You are most welcome to do that. But the students who have little bit less comprehension, जिसको समझने में थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है, तो अगर डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर ले तो it becomes easier to apply the Bayes theorem. So that is why I have shown the diagram method. Some of you may say that it is time consuming to draw the diagram. Diagram should not be so nicely drawn. It could be rough diagram, and diagram में कोई marks भी नहीं होगा. Your marks will be only for the application of Bayes theorem, total probability theorem. So that, but I feel for a better comprehension, diagram backup is always helpful. So I have shown the diagram method. But if you are comfortable without a diagram, you are most welcome to do it. Thank you.